So in this video, I want to go through some examples of adding together fractions with different denominators. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through both methods, lowest common multiple via the denominators and cross multiplication, so you can see how both of them work. In general, my natural way of working would be to go to cross multiplication, mainly because I'm used to doing that with algebraic fractions later on. Okay, and that's really what you would want to use later on. So cross multiplication would be my favoured method, but I will show the lowest common multiple method as well. So 1/5 plus 1/6. So first of all, let's start by finding the lowest common multiple of 5 and 6. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, etc. So the lowest common multiple is 30. So we have something over 30 plus something over 30. Now 5 times 6 makes 30, so 1 times 6 is 6. And 6 times 5 is 30, so 1 times 5 is 5. And so we get 11 over 30. Now if you're using cross multiplication, then 1/5 plus 1/6. We do the leading diagonal first, 1 times 6. Then the other diagonal, 1 times 5. And then multiply the denominators, 5 times 6. And we get 6 plus 5, which is 11 over 30. So you can see that as the denominators get larger, actually this method of finding the lowest common multiple can get a bit arduous, when actually the lowest common multiple in this case would have just been 5 times 6 anyway. Okay, so there are benefits to using cross multiplication for certain examples. Right, let's see question number 2. So we have 2/5 plus 3/4. So if we find the lowest common multiple of 5 and 4, then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, etc. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, etc. So the lowest common multiple is 20. So we have something over 20 plus something over 20. Now 5 times 4 makes 20, so we need to multiply the numerator by 4 also, so 2 lots of 4 is 8. 4 lots of 5 makes 20, so we need to multiply the numerator by 5, so 3 lots of 5 is 15. So we have 8 twentieths plus 15 twentieths, which is 23 twentieths, which you can either leave as a top-heavy fraction, or if asked, you could write that as a mixed number as 1 and 3 twentieths. Now, if you're going to use cross multiplication, 2/5 plus 3/4. So you first of all multiply the leading diagonal, 2 times 4, plus then the product of the other diagonal, 3 times 5, over the product of the denominators, 5 times 4. So we have 8 plus 15, which is 23, over 20. And of course, we get the same result as before. Right. Okay, so let's take a look at number 3. Now, 3/5 plus 1/10. Now, you should spot initially that 3/5 can be written as 6/10, and hence you've got a common denominator. Okay, so you should be able to do this one by sight. However, let's say you didn't. We'll go with the lowest common multiple of 5 and 10. So 5, 10, 15, etc. 10, 20, 30, etc. So the lowest common multiple is 10. So then something over 10 plus something over 10, well, we already know that's 1/10. So 5 lots of 2 makes 10, so 3 lots of 2 makes 6. So we have 7 over 10, and that's our answer. So you could have spotted it initially, that's the quickest way, or lowest common multiple and do it that way, or we could do cross multiplication, 3/5 plus 1/10. So we multiply the leading diagonal first, 3 times 10, then add the other diagonal, 1 times 5, over the product of the denominators, 5 times 10. So we get 35 over 50. Okay, and so then we need to simplify that down. So both the numerator and denominator can be divided by 5, and that gets us 7 over 10. So actually in this case, cross multiplication wasn't too good. It was easier just to spot it and do it straight away. Okay, so cross multiplication can be very useful and is very useful throughout mathematics. When we get to harder and harder problems, cross multiplication will be the way forward. But for very basic cases, sometimes it overcomplicates it.